Shawnee. Welcome back. So I'm getting ready for work and yeah, I'm just gonna do my makeup, and of course, for those of you who are wondering, I'm gonna tell you about the HOA meeting last night. I think I'll go ahead and use my Danessa Myricks Groundwork Volume 1, or I'm sorry, Defining Neutrals, because I haven't used it yet today. And just to show you, I do have the new light work, and I will be doing all kinds of stuff with it. Probably this weekend, I'm going to do some swatches and show you all the configurations of the palette, because it's magnetic, stackable, customizable, everything. It's really cool. I've played around with it a little bit, but haven't done any eyeshadow looks because I wanted to save that for you. Child, the HOA meeting. When I tell you that could not have gone any worse, y'all, okay. Context, and what am I doing here? Let me get my, I'm gonna use the Makeup by Mario eye prep and set to prep my eyes for foundation, for eyeshadow. You can see I'm discombobulated, and that's how I left that meeting last night. Okay, so the context is that some people across the way moved out in the cover of night, a cover of darkness, and they left like all their furniture and stuff by the dumpster. So like 2 couches, I think a couple mattresses, and just all kinds of other stuff. So it's a lot of stuff, right? So it's ridiculous. And basically, I think it's like 1 time or 2 times a year, the bulk trash people come, and you can put all your bulk trash in the like huge bin, and then they'll take it away. Other than that, if you have any sort of bulk trash items, you're responsible for taking it to the dump or donating, whatever it is. These people didn't do that. Now the thing with that house is one woman owns it, right? But it seems like she isn't there anymore, and there are just people moving in every few weeks, every month, and all of a sudden they'll move out and a new batch of folks come in, right? So basically the regular trash service is not going to take those bulk items. They're just not. And the stuff has just been sitting there for about a good 2 weeks. Now, last week, Tuesday, I believe, my neighbor 2 doors down, older white guy, goes outside in his pajamas and his pajamas, like fedora and a long robe, and he starts taking all the stuff by the dumpster and throwing it back on their porch, front of their door, blah blah blah. The police come, and they're like, "Sir," we were calling him Jim. I do know his first and last name now, but we're gonna stick to Jim just to protect people. So they were like, "Sir, you need to move all that back." And he was pissed. He was pissed, right? Anyway, so I'm like, bet. I'm gonna go to the HOA meeting because we gotta put this on the agenda, right? Because I'm supporting Jim. I'm on his side, even more so after the meeting last night. Okay, so I've been planning this to attend forever, right? On my calendar, alarm set. Now, it's usually at 6:45, but for some reason I thought it said 6:30. So 6:27, I'm like, they were doing it on Zoom last night. 6:27, I'm on Zoom. I'm ready to go, okay? And then I realized, oh no, it's supposed to be 6:45. So, you know, I just like futz around for a little bit, and then 6:40, I'm back and I'm ready, okay? So everybody's silent. There's no like talking, just everybody's on mute and all this jazz. And I gotta get some names together. Let's call her Brandy. Let's call her Brandy. So Brandy, who I like have emailed with before, asked questions of, blah blah blah. Brandy's like, well, we only have 1 board member here right now, so we'll just give them some time to get here so we can start the meeting. So she tells Ashley, like, hey, you're the only board member here, so we just need to wait until a couple more people come. Now, this meeting is monthly. They know when it is, okay? They know when it is, so I don't understand why y'all not here, but whatever. So everybody in there starts talking about the kids going back to school and blah, 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 blah. And this is where I should have known there was going to be some shenanigans going on. One of the ladies was like, why don't they just have, like, back to school night on the weekend? You're obviously not a teacher, and you obviously do not respect them, because no teacher is going to want to give up their weekend for you to come in and tell them about your bad kids. Don't nobody want to do that. So I was like, oh, all right. Okay, girl. You ain't got no empathy, no sense, right? So here, I'm going to go into this shade. That is Mirage. No empathy, no sense, no way, no how are we going to get along. So the Ashley girl, she was, is that what I called her? Yeah, the Ashley girl. And just imagine, she has a common name, but it's spelled weird. So think of like all the different ways Ashley can be spelled and pick the one that's the most, that one. So Ashley's like, well, you know, like, teachers don't want to give up their weekends, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, we on the same page, Ash. Okay, so then, you know, some of the names are familiar, some aren't, because I used to regularly go to the HOA meeting just for, like, entertainment, really, because it was, like, ridiculous things were happening, and I was just full on enjoying it. I stopped going when they tried to get me on, like, the parking committee, but listen, I'm about to put in an application for every single committee. Let me get on this HOA board. Let me tell you why. So, somebody's like, well, how long do we wait before we, like, say that we're not meeting and we'll just meet next month? And I'm like, I know we not, because I came here for a reason, right? So they were like, oh, what's her name? Wait, what I call her? Brandy? Whatever, B. She was like, oh, we usually wait 15 minutes. And then no other board member came, right? And so they were like, okay, we're going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and we'll just reconvene next month. Here come Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim is ready. He's ready. So Mr. Jim is like, excuse me, like, I just want to talk about the dumpster situation. And he was like, I'm really upset about it. You know, they keep putting trash over there, blah, blah. And B hops in and is like, Mr. Jim, you emailed us less than 24 hours ago. Let's just, like, give us a chance to answer. And he's like, no, I totally understand. Just wanting to get kind of an update. And then B is like, because it has to do with the resident, we can't talk about it. It's confidential. And she was like, just like how we don't talk about your information with other residents, we can't talk about theirs. And he's like, it has nothing to do with, like, this specific issue. I'm not talking about the house. I'm talking about the dumpster. And so I'm like, oh, excuse me. I'm real nice, polite, and professional. I was like, I just want to get an understanding. I thought that the dumpster area was, like, community property, meaning that we can talk about it because it's not for a specific house. And they were like, well, since it has to do with a house, it's confidential. And I was like, okay, put myself back on mute. So, Mr. Jim is going on, and then I pipe in again, and I'm like, I completely agree with Mr. Jim. I completely support what he's saying, because that has been my experience. And I was like, you know, it's pretty unsightly. And Mr. Jim was like, it's bringing down the property value. I'm like, yo, it is. And I was like, it would be helpful just to know what's going on. And then they go on about things are being done, calls are being made, like, behind the scenes, and we're doing blah, 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 blah. And both Mr. Jim and I are like, okay, thank you for letting us know. Because he emailed, I think, and called. I emailed and called and all this jazz, right? And we were both like, and it's a car right there that's been sitting there with its tires flat for months, and y'all haven't done nothing. And I was like, you know, it's I'm upset because it seems like the rules are not being applied across the board. Child, they had such an attitude. So here come Ashley. Ashley unmutes herself. Ashley is the only board member, and I don't even know what she's saying, but her and Mr. Jim are kind of just like going back and forth, talking over each other. And then Ashley, now mind you, Ashley sounds like she about in her, at most maybe 40s. Mr. Jim is like late. Mr. Jim has been living here for 35 years, okay? And he's like, you know, I may have to move. This is really disappointing, blah, blah, blah. And Ashley said, she said, you need to calm your ass down. Now, there are not many situations, but quite a few where I will grasp and clutch my metaphorical pearls and gasp, audible gasp. So when Ashley told this man, you need to calm your ass down, I said, and then she just put herself on mute. Me and Mr. I almost said his name. Me and Mr. Jim pieced out of there. I was like, because no. At some point before that also, I was like, you know, it would be helpful to know something, because I've called, I've emailed, I haven't gotten any sort of response just to know if you even got the message, and then I went on. I also put in a request in June for y'all to look at that concrete over there where I fell and talk to the property manager of the entire like condo town, whatever, talk to somebody and get it fixed. And I was like, I have not gotten a response. And she was like, well, is the task open? I was like, I don't know if it's open, but it's not closed. And she was like, well, I'll look at that. And yeah, okay, because it's been June, July, August. It's been 3 months. It looked the same. And Mr. Jim was also going on about, like, we just both had issues. And I will say, Mr. Jim, you could hear his frustration. Rightfully so, in my opinion. You could hear his frustration, but he wasn't yelling, he wasn't cussing, he wasn't doing nothing. They were talking over him, they weren't letting him speak, they were interrupting, and they were like, you emailed, and you were emailing with me, so I'm emailing you back. But they're just like, first of all, is it confidential? Like, isn't it when you purchase a home, it's like, you can find information about it? So, but then the other thing is that thing, those things, the dumpster stuff around it, it's affecting the entire area. Every house in here, it's being affected, right? So I was just like, confidentiality, interesting. You know who know about confidentiality? This guy, because that's like the cornerstone of my entire career. So I called Erica to fuss and rant and everything, because I was like, regardless of anything, I thought that that was exceptionally rude to talk to that man like that. I thought it was exceptionally rude. And I was just like, oh, y'all don't care. You have no decorum. Now I understand why Mr. Jim was out there throwing that mess back on them people's house, because y'all not gonna do nothing about it. Like, I understand that the bulk trash thing only come twice a year, every 6 months, but y'all just gonna let it sit. These people ain't coming back. I was like, where are our fees going? Where are the HOA fees going, if not to move stuff, right? So I get off the thing, me and Mr. Jim both. And I am just like, I cannot believe they talk to that man like that. I also can't believe I'm not doing my makeup. I was like, I cannot believe they talk to that man like that. I was upset. Like, listen, I just feel like if you give respect, you get respect. And in my opinion, he was respectful. He was definitely upset But when you're in a position like the HOA board and all that, baby, you've been elected, okay, to like deal with these issues. So you should have some sense of, if not professionalism, then just respect and decorum. So I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like verklempt. So I'm like, let me get a piece of paper because I'm about to go put a note on Mr. Jim's door and be like, buddy, I'm here with you, okay? I was agreeing with everything you said. Basically, I wrote that, but in a much more professional tone, right? Because I don't think Mr. Jim could handle all the neck rolling and the lip smacking. So I leave a note and I'm like, I'm your neighbor 2 doors down. I completely agree with everything that you were saying. I am really upset about it too. And I was like, I'm appalled at the tone and the ways in which they spoke to you. I was like, pretty much just like, fight the power, baby. And so I left my name and everything and my phone number. So I was like, at least he know somebody is on his side. Although I'm not the only one. There are other people who are like, I met several people. Girl, let me don't tell you about, what's that man name? Carl? I don't know, this man. That's another story. Remind me to tell you that about the man who just keep trying to talk to me and helped me with my mail when I told him I did not need any help, that I'm perfectly capable to cut this box out of my mailbox since the post office insists on putting boxes in there that don't actually fit anyway. So then I come back inside my house. Mind you, I went over to Mr. Jim's house and I just had on like a house dress. I ain't got no bra on. Y'all know I don't be wearing no bra. So let me go, like, girl, you need to hurry up. So, what happened next, y'all? So I come inside and I'm just like heated. I'm all like sweaty and pissed off. And I'm like, oh, so they want to mess with Mr. Jim? That mean they messing with me. I don't know why, but I just felt like y'all are so like stank. Also, they were like, we really have to wrap this up because this is not an official board meeting. I'm like, okay, but I would just like to ask a question. Because like, no, you did not. I'm sorry, y'all need to get it together and have like some stand-ins or something, because you want me to wait another 4 weeks to talk to you about this? I think not. Especially since y'all not even answering. Okay, I'm going off on him. Just let me tell you what else happened. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what I do best. I'm gonna research some stuff. So I went ahead into the little resident portal and I pulled up every single document that has been put up there since like 2019. And I read through everything because I'm like, I'm almost 100% sure that there's information about bulk trash and parking up in there. And you know what? I found it and I highlighted it and I'm ready, okay? So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and send an email, and I'm gonna send it to the main lady who was talking out her ass. I'm gonna send it to her because, you know, I think they're wrong. I think they're wrong and I think they're rude, because I was just so disgusted by the way they handled things. I think it was highly unprofessional, and I'm thinking, you're a board member, so to me that means that you have some, don't you have like a responsibility to at least communicate in a way that isn't invalidating and demeaning? Or I would have even been fine if they were like, you know what, it would be great if we just took this offline. That would have been more appropriate than somebody saying, you need to calm your ass down. Like, how dare you? How dare you? That's what I was offended about, because I already decided if y'all gonna leave that stuff there, guess who's gonna do whatever the hell she wants to with her house, okay? Don't come over here and tell me nothing. And then they were like, oh, you guys should take pictures of the, you know, whatever you see. I was like, I got picture and videos, baby. And they were like, oh, Yeah, like me and Mr. Jim ain't playing with y'all. But as long as they have that stuff there, when I tell you I'm about to do whatever I want to, I might even park on somebody's grass, okay? Because if it's just a free-for-all for deciding what we're going to abide by, you better hope I don't go buy another car just to park it in front of somebody's house. Because we're not putting into place the parking permits. Obviously, the information that y'all wrote down says that community resources, I'm assuming HOA fees, are supposed to take care of that. Take my HOA fees and do, like, take care of that. Because what am I paying it for? Girl, they knew, child. I kind of wish that they would have told me to calm my ass down, because I'm going to be like, bitch, which door is yours? Okay? Come to it, because I'm right there. How? And you know what? I bet Mr. Jim probably be emailing them all the time. Okay? I bet he's real annoying. But you know what? This man done live here for 35 years. Go ahead and annoy them people, Mr. Jim. Like, and it's ridiculous, y'all. I sent photos and videos to my family, to Erica and Jan, and I'm like, this isn't just a little bit of trash. Y'all, it's a whole house worth. Take all the stuff in your house, put it outside. That's what it looks like. And it's right in front of Mr. Jim's property, in front of his home. Like, he look out his window and there it is. And then some other little kiss butt person was like, I just want to thank you guys for, like, cleaning up the stuff around the dumpster in whatever area it was, because it was there one day and it's just, like, gone the next. And I'm like, oh, so y'all do be cleaning up stuff. All right. See, and the thing is, Mr. Jim and I were the only ones in, like, the numbers over on this area. We're the only ones there. So I bet they're just like, oh, it's only these two. But I know for sure that at least 3 people that I talked to over there by the mailboxes, which are right by the dumpster, I already know there are several people that are feeling the same way. But I guess some people are just like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Nah. Cause now they got me mad. Now don't make me pull out all the stuff that y'all said that we have to abide by. These are your bylaws. I didn't write them, okay? Well, how dare you having me pay my mortgage and stuff, and y'all ain't even holding up your end of the bargain. We not even, just take the stuff away. Just take it away. Anyway, let me go ahead and finish this real quick so I can get my behind out here and drive this long commute to work. Alright, y'all, so that is the current update. We'll see if homegirl emails me back, and I'll have an update at some point. Thank you for listening to the rant. Hopefully you stuck it through. Hopefully some of this was helpful. And I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video. And of course, I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.